Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the P and Bree Eating Show. Today, we're going to be having a mukbang with the MOES burritos and nachos. So, I'm going to let him go ahead and tell you guys what he's got on his burrito.
Well, this is a steak burrito from MOES. Welcome to MOES. And I also got steak nachos to go with it. And I have queso, a little lettuce, cilantro, a little rice. And we're just going to do us today and enjoy ourselves.
And then on mine, I have a chicken, rice, and sour cream. I'm a really light eater. Like, I don't like all that mixed up stuff like some people do. So I just got a really plain Jane burrito. And then I'm not sure as to whose nachos are who, but we're going to be eating our nachos and our burritos today. And we're going to be talking about, we're just going to be talking about a little bit of conspiracy theories and different things that come to mind. So,
yeah. We'll start out in light.
Okay. Yeah, because I haven't eaten all day, so I'm extremely hungry. This is good. I haven't had MOES in a really long time.
It was a good choice. At first, I was going to get a breast. Couple breasts.
You and that damn chicken, man.
Yeah.
Hold up. This thing got peppers on it?
So, had to take a little extra sweet. So today, something that has been on my mind about these so-called conspiracies and these conspiracy theories, because there are such things as conspiracies and there are such things as conspiracy theories. But in the case of, or say, Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, and Biggie Smalls, there's more of a different dynamic. I feel like on the case with Nip, and they're all different, because the case with Nipsey Hussle, he had a friend, a certain situation went down with a friend, and that person took it personal as far as being called a snitch and feeling like his name was dragged in the mud. Because you have to understand, in LA, if you're labeled a snitch, you're pretty much no good. So, say this. When they said Nipsey told Eric Holder, bring your paperwork back and then we can go from there. Which was actually a very kind gesture, because that never happens. Well, I'm not going to say that. A person will give you a chance to show that paperwork to see if you ever cooperated or anything. But as I was saying, I think people fail to realize that something as simple as calling someone a snitch, cursing out a man's mother, stuff like that can escalate a situation more than you want it to be. So,
because one thing about people, they don't play about their mama. You know, that's one thing that'll get you up out of here quick. Real quick. Right. But I feel like, I mean, rest in peace. But I feel like, other than that, I just feel like when it comes to the conspiracy theories, I do believe that there's more going on in that situation. And the reason why is because look at how that shit unfolded. I mean, look at all these people that was there that they never brought to surface, or the people that they never allowed to really speak to the mainstream media after they exposed all this shit to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, you don't really owe me anything because, yeah, I'm the public, but don't fucking expose me to shit that you don't want me to basically act on. Right. That's just my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where's all these people that was there on the scene when all this shit went down?
And I think America has a hard time believing that people like guys like Nipsey Hussle, and I'm gonna explain the difference. Nipsey Hussle, you know, he was 60s, he's rolling 60s Crip. Eric Holder supposedly got put out of the rolling 60s Crip, then went to Neighborhood. Neighborhood Crip and rolling 60s Crip have been sworn enemies 20 plus years. So, you know, the fact of being called a snitch and really it's supposed to be like an on-site situation, how they say in LA, that's what got Nipsey killed. All this about, oh, it's a conspiracy, oh, look at this car, look at him hand it off. It can be something very simple as that. In Tupac's case, people, you know, to this day still believe Tupac's alive. And I'm not going to try to shoot down your dreams or
defend anyone.
Yeah, or
anyone's beliefs.
Yeah, or to break down anyone's so-called conspiracy theory, but I'm going to break it down. Tupac, if he was set up in any kind of way, it was when Suge or the dude that got his chain snatched out of the mall, his I don't want to say Trayvon Lane. It was one of them. The guy who got his chain snatched in the mall by Orlando Anderson. Why would you tell Suge that that's the guy who took your chain, talking about Orlando Anderson, and why would Suge whisper that into Tupac's ear? Knowing how Tupac felt about Suge and Death Row at that time. So he was like, if Suge say go, or if you violate it in any kind of way, and Pac is gonna go. He's gonna go because he felt he had loyalty to Suge in that situation. Okay, now this is where the dynamics change though. Tupac, just because he hung around Mob Pirus, just because he hung around Crips in the beginning, Spider Low, all and what have you, doesn't make you a gang member. And people with money often get this mixed up, and that's why a lot of times their chains get taken, life get taken, because people, after a while, people want to test all of that you rapping about. You know, you untouchable, you this, you that. But I'm just gonna shed a little light on this. Tupac got killed because he put his hand on a devoted and quoted East Coast Crip gang member, Orlando Anderson.
But see, my whole thing is, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, no.
It's like when you woke, and when you know, spiritually getting ascended, you see through all that shit.
Right.
They want us to believe. You know, it's like the way that these things are set up or staged. It's like it's to leave your mind wondering, to leave the inquiring mind wondering.
Right.
What's next? To leave the inquiring mind, whatever happened to this person, is this person still living? Right. The reason why people believe that Tupac is still alive, because that whole Machiavelli situation, and he was studying Machiavelli. People knew that he wanted out. People knew that he wanted to get his masters or whatever like that. He wanted to do his own thing. That's why people thought that think that he's still alive. But one thing about Gemini, one thing about Tupac is I feel like he wouldn't have been able to be quiet this long. Stay quiet. That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't have been able to keep all this shit that has been said about this man. And y'all don't think he would have came out and said something in contrary to that, or just he talked too much.
And like I said, you know,
well, he did talk too much. Past tense.
I would say this, and like I said, it's not to diminish anybody's confidence that this man is alive, but to keep letting that lie go on, and I don't inform you. At least I know I've done my job. But Tupac is dead. When he made a bad choice by swinging on a gang.
Yeah, move your burrito.
Yeah, he made a bad. No, look at it, right? I'm trying to let them see the ingredients. But
you already told them what you had in it. But I didn't tell them what was in this.
Tupac actually, he made the wrong choice. He made the wrong choice that day. And I can almost guarantee you this: if he never had put his hand on Baby Lane or Orlando Anderson, he'd probably still be alive today. certain things, these guys live every day, and they live in these certain situations out there in LA, and it's never calmed down. I don't care how many peace rallies, it's just never calmed down. And there's certain rules out there in the street. If you're a neutral, you can't be putting your hand on guys that aren't neutral. You can't go swinging on Bloods. You can't go swinging on Crips. You can't go swinging on GDs, Vice, or whatever have you. So that's why Tupac is dead to this day. Bad choices. And when he was doing so good, there's the devil, whispering in your ear, hey, Pac, that's the guy who stole my chain. Now, why would a security type detail, a person whispering a man who is bringing $60 million to a label?
Because he was getting ready to leave there.
Why? No. Why? Listen, why would you tell this man who's making y'all money, who's feeding y'all, why would you alert him to the danger?
You're not eating, babe.
Right? I am eating. I don't have to gouge, but I mean, why would somebody do that? You're a breadwinner. Why would you leave them? I don't care. It's way deeper about masters. First of all, and Suge, no matter how much people want to say he had something to do with it, Suge didn't have nothing to do with that.
But look at his situation, though. Like, that whole shit, even with him. I just be laughing because the shit is funny to me. Now his ass is in jail. Now that's crazy.
Not to mention health.
That's health.
Declining.
Oh, for real? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, health is declining bad.
Now I feel bad about laughing.
And no matter what people may think, man, sure love Pop. He didn't like the fact that Pop was going to leave. That's why he proposed Death Row East. Now, and tried to give that to Pop. Because he didn't want him to go. It's like, you see your breadwinner, you're living a certain lifestyle, and all of a sudden he wants to take his masters and leave. Yeah, you're upset, but even though Suge was still owed and entitled to a percentage of the masters, because a lot of it was.
But that happened too common. That happened too common. It's like if you are aspiring rapper or aspiring singer, it's like it seems like if you get the contract, you get the deal, you're not happy. So now you want to buy out your masters and you want to own rights to your own shit. So that's just some food for thought. If you are thinking about doing this, maybe you shouldn't even invest, like get a contract. Maybe you should just from the gate start investing in your own shit.
Okay. Right. And in response to that, look at Tupac's situation in 94. In 94, he got locked up for rape charges, what they said was rape, or improper touching. But originally it was a rape case.
And ladies, come on now.
Right. And
Tupac ain't got to rape nobody.
And you never know a person's mind state on what they're capable of when they ain't around.
That's bullshit.
Not everybody's in love with Tupac.
I'm not saying that you in love with him, but most women are in love with it. Like if somebody is it, you are in love with that.
You can't argue with you. Well, yeah, you can't argue with the fact. I mean, the man was a sex symbol to women. Like that, he really and if you think about it, he really catered to a lot of women. He didn't start talking about.
It was about women, our struggle, what we've been through, what we're going through in the black community.
Yeah, he didn't start talking about bitches and all of that, and until he was addressing the bitch. Okay, see, Dolores Tucker made a big deal about it with Death Row saying, "Oh, him saying bitch, he's degrading our women. He's doing this. Until a phone call comes, and C. Dolores Tucker is like, well, what about if we take out 80% of the curses and you allow me to come on board as an A&R to control the content? Now see, 1 minute you're against it, now you stand and want to make millions.
But his lyrics was really, like you said, catered towards women.
Right.
A lot of his music, he talked about women in the black community. And just like we was watching that whole Farrakhan thing. And all it really, really boils down to is black people loving themselves and having love for each other. Why is it when we... I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like... Why is it when we are living together that we can't live together under one roof? But why is it that every other race can do it and do it successfully? But when black people are living together, or African Americans, whatever you want to call it, when we're living together, all hell break loose. Somebody got to touch somebody's woman. Somebody got to touch somebody's money. Somebody got to touch somebody's food, or whatever the case may be. So it's all about having love for each other and supporting each other and loving one another. Because if we had that love, or we grew up, we were raised up in loving backgrounds, there wouldn't be so much hate.
Right.
And the black on black crime, like what happened with Nipsey Hussle, somebody hating because this man has damn near worked for everything he's got. You can have the same thing too. Whatever happened to people asking like, oh, well, hey, such and such, can you help me get to where you are? So, instead of you asking, you just gonna like just demolish a person. Like that's just basically where people are. Like people are very envious of you, but it's like you can't really be envious if you're not helping yourself. If all you ever been in was in prison, or if you just been in jail and you never gotten out of jail, you never gotten out of prison to do anything different. When you get out, you on the same bullshit. You still out here robbing, kicking doors. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why is it that Nipsey can have this lifestyle? He can be a crip, he can be successful, he can produce music, because when he got his bag and he did what he had to do. He didn't continuously stay back and stay stagnant. He evolved. So
really, you gotta give Snoop Dogg credit for that also. Because
even Snoop Dogg though, look what Snoop Dogg did. He Snoop, got his bag and he left.
Snoop, but see, and no. Snoop has a youth football league that he has right there in Long Beach, where he's from. So much so that even NFL players come there to talk to these children. And Snoop took his early life of the so-called murder of Philip Waldemariam, with the shooting that him and his bodyguard was charged with. Ultimately acquitted. They had David Kenner as their attorney, which everyone knows David Kenner has a 95-96% success rate due to his so-called ties and organized crime. But this is one thing I'm going to say, and I'll wrap it up as far as Nipsey and Pac. Never get too big to feel like you can't be touched. And I think the person who said this best was Afeni Shakur. When she made a statement, she was like, if I could walk up to you and I can touch you, I can hug you, I can shake your hand, that's just it. You can be touched. You can be touched. Money does not exempt you from following the rules, whether it be in the street, whether it be in a job, no matter what you're doing. Money is not an exception. And a lot of these people, like Pac, had his back against the wall in '94, and he didn't want to be in Dannemora prison because that's one of the worst prisons it is. They had allegations of Tupac actually being raped in jail. And I'm not lying. You can look this up. To the fact that his back is so against the wall that he doesn't have the money, the $1.6 million, to get out. No. Check this now. The last album he made before Suge came and got him was this, Me Against the World, the one where I got Lord Knows right here. Wrote a contract on toilet paper in jail to Suge Knight to get out. Now everybody knows what those contracts lead to. When a person comes to jail and you sign this piece of paper, next thing you know you're out of jail. Okay, but now you end up signing an Illuminati deal, and now that you really figure out what kind of deal it was, because they didn't just come out and say, okay, Pac, this is an Illuminati deal. You have to give us your soul for this, right? So he's thinking, okay, it's a deal. Suge's helped me out. All Eyes on Me made what, $6 million? Okay, Suge paid 1.6 to get him out. Pac felt like, okay, this album, All Eyes on Me, it made your money back. So Pac, Suge said, okay, yeah, that's true, but what about the car? What about the home? What about the truck? all of these expenses weren't accrued for, the studio time, and that's how they get you. You'll never be out of debt as long as you're a part of a record company. The only people that have walked out of debt was Michael Jackson, Prince,
and them the top dogs.
Right, and they paid their way out, and still lost their life because see, they felt like they knew they signed that Illuminati deal. It's no secret, but they figured, okay, we pay the devil back his due, and my soul will be relinquished. Mm-mm. But it don't work like that. So even y'all rappers, upcoming rappers, that happen to even see, oh yeah, we, we're eating, we're enjoying ourselves, but don't get caught up. Work, grind independently. Keep your masters, man, because you're just one song away from blowing up, and then you own it. You own that. No one could take that from you. So
that's what people always say: money can't buy happiness, because you can have everything you ever dreamed of, but you could be missing that spouse. You could be missing the sanity.
Right.
You could be missing, the time, because a lot of time, like even with me having my own business, I'm exhausted. So a lot of the time I ain't gonna get back. Right. So it's like you could be having the time. So yeah, money may make you happy temporarily, but it doesn't buy guaranteed happiness, and that's why those are things that people should think of. But we both always had our separate views on the whole Nipsey Hussle thing, but I just feel like it was set up. And the reason why I feel like that is because look at how this shit really played out. All the motherfuckers out in the parking lot, and like he said, don't never get too comfortable in your surroundings. That's anywhere you go, because I'm a female.
Right.
And I'm like that. I always, if I'm in a new place, or even if I go to a new convenience store, corner store. I mean, we live in Stone Mountain. We live in Atlanta. So, if I go to a new store that, that's not around my house or not around my surroundings, I'm looking around that motherfucker. Right. Because I'm just real observant by nature. I've always been like that. But, it's just...
Really, and it's really... I'm going to explain something and I'm going to get off of that. Illuminati, really right now in the music industry, is so much on the rise that no one's realizing it, right? Because now that all the older guys, right, well, you got the younger generation, and a lot of the younger generation are just really out there in the streets and want the fame and the money. And look how they did religion now. They've tricked kids and people to believe that Christianity's not real. God is fake.
Yeah, not to offend anyone, because some people,
right. Now, it's not even attacking any type of...
I don't believe that God is fake. I do believe that there is a source. I do believe that there is a creator. I mean, how the fuck did we get here? Well, and how did generations before us was wiped out? Some generations shit happened. Natural disasters and shit. People, the whole damn town gone.
Well, see, that's because there's different people that are needed for different times in the world, in the universe. There's certain people that's needed for that type of survival. Like they say, you had cavemen that was actually hunting and going dinosaurs. Like, wow, I don't even care if you're 6-7 damn feet. A dinosaur. But they had to do what they had to do to feed their family. And one thing that I'm going to say, and the reason why I said about the religion, it's no matter what you believe in, but the way that they're putting it out there is, in certain religions, I see this ideology, and some I don't. They're putting out there like, okay, the black man is their God. They're their own God. Their God. Some religions actually believe that.
Spirituality is one of them.
Right. Actually believe that.
Where they believe that the God is within you. Right. You're your source.
Right.
You're your God.
But I will never sit here and, I'm not going to say what I do, but I'll never denounce what I worship for any type of monetary gain. Because in the end, guess what? You can sit in there. You can... whatever they do, ride laps or whatever.
And it's real.
All of that, yeah. You can do all of that, right? You walk in that room with zero. You walk out that room with a briefcase $1 million, $2 million, right? What if you walk outside to go to your car, straight bullet, take your whole noodle off, right?
Damn,
right,
what was that?
Right when you just got that $2 million. Now you can't even spend it. And your soul is gone.
But see, like I was on Facebook the other day, and when I was on Facebook, it was this post that came up, and it was like, Christianity, do unto others as you want to. And they were saying like Islam, the same thing. Buddhism, the same thing. Treat others how you want to be treated. So that's the golden rule in almost every religion. But I know that there's a source. I know that God is real because of what I've seen. Like when my grandmother died, and the room just lit up. That wasn't nobody just did that. That was that force, you know what I'm saying? So there is a God, so, but whoever you want to call your God or whoever you want to believe, and I do believe a lot of the shit that has been passed down through us has been watered down. I don't believe that it's 100% true, and that's just how I feel.
Well, for one, you gotta understand this.
And I like the Buddhism because it spiritually disciplines me as a person. It makes me love who I am. It makes me happy through my circumstance. It motivates me to be nice to other people and treat other people with respect and kindness. I'm not saying that Christianity don't do that, but it's just not practiced as much to love yourself and your circumstance like it is in spirituality and Buddhism.
Well, that's because people took the value of it. And this is what I'm going to say about that. And this is the ultimate question here. When all these African people were brought from Africa on these slave ships,
suffered.
You have to ask yourself, right? And they worship a god before they came here.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, the God that they worship should be the God that we worship. And the reason why I say that, because we was brought from Africa. And Christianity was a religion that was forced upon us. Soon as they allowed the black man to semi-be free, by the time he started going to churches, the image of his God was a white man. And I'm not being, racist or any kind of way, but everybody know if you have a man that's dark as night, it like
carpet of hair,
right? How is that African man supposed to believe that that's his God when actually centuries ago, black men used to think that the white man carried a disease?
And just like even spirituality, it was our ancestors that were medicine women, and that was healing people for real. Right. With herbs and stuff like that, because we didn't have access to much. We didn't have the resources for none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, now guess what? Now we have to talk about this.
But that's the truth. Like, we didn't have the resources for some of the stuff. Like that whole holistic shit. That's African culture too, because that's what they practiced back in the day when, oh, your kids got the chicken pox, or oh, your child's sick. They lost kids left and right. They lost family members left and right because we didn't have the medicine that we have today. Right. So like even our grandparents, our great grandparents, they probably had a lot of stillbirths and stuff like that. I know my great grandma did because my grandma told me about it. So because they didn't have what we have today.
Well, from a source that I known, as we get into and this is why I say when you talk about this, because it even bring you to the Dr. Sebi.
Yeah, man, look at him. He's from Africa.
Now, peep this now. Just as marijuana and cannabis, which is now legal almost everywhere.
Besides here.
Right. Well, the law passed actually 3 weeks ago, and it's coming in.
Oh, yeah, and I want to do one on that abortion. That's going to be tough, too. But it's like, I can't believe they're passing a law on abortion. Now, I agree with Tupac on that because it's like, not everybody wants to have a baby.
Well, there's precautions, if you don't want to have a baby.
Yeah, and there are over the counter too. Like, you don't have to go out to get it, prescription or anything like that. You can get it discreet.
You don't just have to make kids just to have them because you're caught up in the moment.
Yeah, but we already got enough people out here without a daddy.
The thing, right? And I'm like being a father to so many, and then gotta try to be a father, and when I mean like that, like even when you leave out the house, if you see somebody doing something and you know them and not supposed to be doing it, you pull a coattail. That's like a father figure, because a real father he's gonna care. He's gonna give a damn. He's not gonna sit back and just watch you throw your life away. And the reason why I went back to the Dr. Sebi thing, because only reason why cannabis became legal because they found a way to market it.
Yep. So
really, you can't put a tax on nothing that grows naturally from earth. You can't. Like,
well, they're gonna do that. If it's gonna be legal, it's gonna be taxed.
Right. But see, that's why they had so much controversy with Dr. Sebi, because they couldn't market his cure for AIDS. They couldn't market it because he used herbs and natural medicine as our ancestors did. So you can't go say, okay, this herb that grew out here. No, we're going to take this herb and we're going to put a tax on it, or else you're not going to be able to use it. And we're going to take it all. We're going to take all of it. So you very rarely can now find this herb to help cure yourself now. You have no choice but to get it from us. And we're not going to give it to you in that flower form. We're going to turn the potency that's into that plant and put it into a pill. And make you think that they have everything else healthy in there.
That's what it is. Some people are afraid of the Africans, their strength, and their fucking knowledge.
Right.
That's what it's always been about. That's why they never wanted us to have the access to the things that they had access to. And not that I'm racist or anything, but it's just that they knew that we would be powerful if we had the ability to write and read and, you know, be in better situations. That's why when we was watching that Farrakhan shit, that shit was like crazy, because even like how he was saying, people were attacking him, but what he was making was valid fucking points.
Right.
That how the fuck can we love another when we don't even love our own damn selves?
Right. And not to mention they banned him, the other day, from all social media now. Yeah. You know,
but all he was saying was that before working with blending and mixing, black people need to learn to love ourselves, because we have the most black on black killing, black on black deaths, you know, and crime amongst each other.
Well, I have to stand to be a little slightly corrected on that, because you know, this is just how I feel. This is my opinion, but I personally feel that they tricked us into talking about black on black crime, because whether you go to Asia, wherever it's all white people, you're gonna have white on white crime. Wherever you have all Asians, you're gonna have Asian on Asian crime. And actually, compare the crimes that they say that we do, and compare it to a lot of the Caucasian crimes and how far they go.
Oh yeah. The only difference is the discipline.
Yeah,
the discipline.
4 days ago, you got two gunmen, two peers, who told their friends weeks ago, we're gonna hurt someone. And look at the Colorado STEM school shooting, man. That's people out there trying to kill your kids that's in school, trying to learn.
Yeah, and you know, you think you sending your kids to school, you know, you think they in good hands. You like, okay, well, my kids is in good hands. They in the hands of the teacher, the law, whoever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's like nowadays, that's why so many people are homeschooling, because it's not even safe to send your kids to school nowadays. I'm telling you. Because the things that are going on inside of the schools, the things that the kids are discussing in the schools, and this is exposing a lot of the youth to things that they don't really need to be exposed to.
Terrible.
You know, but I mean, I'm not saying that black on black is the only type of crime, but it is here in the United States a high ranked crime.
It's been more publicized than any other race, because they want us to fail.
But when you take everything from a black man, or when you take everything from a black woman, they have a record, they're a felon, they can't work. You know what I'm saying? They can't even get a fucking job at McDonald's. They can't even get a regular job. It does something to the mind.
But guess what? Y'all? Guess what? When y'all came and got us from Africa, just like the telephone was made, Alexander Graham Bell, who was a black man, all right, whose idea was actually stolen. You know, a guy came. I ain't gonna say no name.
Yeah, and that's what she was telling Farrakhan too. She was like, "Oh, yeah, well, y'all black people need to find y'all own. Y'all need to work your own factories, but you can't take that from us.
And leave us alone." Is what they said.
But
yeah, that's what they said.
But it's like you can't take that from us, because let me tell you something. When They was picking that fucking cotton. Their fucking hands was bleeding and shit. We helped create this place too now.
Right.
We contribute. We fucking was slaves, and all that they gave us was food. Right. And fucking shelter.
The leftovers from the pig, from the hog.
But that's what I'm saying. Food and fucking shelter. And even to this day, we have people that's making fucking like the minimum wage here is still $7.25. $7.25. Rent is fucking at least $800 to $900 around this motherfucker.
Rent $7.25 is only acceptable for a teenager still living with his parents.
That ain't even acceptable because your phone bill about $100 if you got a decent phone.
Still living with their parents, that their parents are allowing them to stack their money. You know, because that's no money. Especially if you have a family.
And this shit is like a trap because it's like even people that decide to go to college, white or black, you know what I'm saying? Whatever race, they go to college, they get their degree. And I was working at Petco. We had a lady, she was white, and she had a biology degree, but she needed a job so bad that she was willing to take a dog training position, which only pays around $8 to $9. You know, so it's like people that even invest the money, invest the time to get these student loans, you can't even afford to pay that shit back.
Yeah, unless you maintain what a 3-point something, and you might get a loan forgiveness for having a scholarship. But if you slip one semester, man, and your scholarship be gone. You
can't even afford to pay that shit back. That's why I always encourage like all my clients and everybody like start a business, do something, even while you working, do something, invest in yourself because that's the best payback you could ever really give yourself, and it doesn't matter what race you are, you know.
And it's funny because Farrakhan, he said, you know, why not hire black police officers to police the black neighborhoods or agents to police the Asians? And
well, the good thing about us
that in Chinatown, in New York,
is we have a good bit of black ones here.
Yeah, okay,
here
but
we have
working with the powers that be though. Farrakhan is talking about getting guys that understand that struggle and that really turn their life around. Want to see the betterment for the black community, the Asian community, but taking note now, Chinese, even in Chinatown in New York, and this is a known fact because I've been there. Chinese police, New York police walk around there. They hired Chinese New York police to work in Chinatown. Okay, because the Chinese and is meant the triads and these Chinese mafias. They don't trust them. They don't trust them, and instead of them having an all-out war, they would rather go ahead and let's give them some Asian officers that over here and work, so they actually feel like they control something. And it is funny because it seemed like everybody got a piece of the pie but black people.
Yeah.
The Chinese, they got Chinatown. The Indians own multi-million-dollar casinos. The
Jews, want to know what they did here?
The Jews got money from the Holocaust.
You want to know what they did here in Atlanta? They took all our projects, and this is why it makes me so mad. Like sometimes when I go on social media, and they're like, I seen something on social media, and he was telling one black girl, he was like, "You're nothing but a welfare bee, receiving Section 8, blah 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 blah." Here in Atlanta, you can't even get Section 8. You can't even get welfare.
It's like a 2-year waiting list.
It's like a 5-year waiting list. You know.
And everybody thought, hell, your kids damn bro.
And not only that, it's also like, not only is there a waiting list, but all the projects that we had that worked for the betterment of us or whatever like that did promote black people, they tore that shit down. You know what they did? They made that shit for the white. Or whoever, the wealthy. Yeah. The wealthy. Yeah. You know. And the people that's from Bankhead or the people that's from the projects, they can tell you about it.
And they call it urban gentrification. So where?
But that's the dumbest shit they could have ever done. Why in the hell would you sit here and mix middle class to high end or high class people with low class?
I'm gonna tell you something real.
That's people, so stupid.
I'm gonna tell you something real. People think that they can't stop that killing in Chicago. And I'm gonna tell you something real. The day that I saw, and it's a fact, the day that I saw East Lake Meadows turned around A golf course? Tiger Woods in East Lake Meadows in Georgia? Man, I knew anything could be done. It used to be so much killing and shooting over in that area, in the East Lake Meadows. You can even get on YouTube and Google East Lake Meadows.
And my dad was even telling me how he had me in the car, him and boat ride was over there. And they had to speed out because some motherfuckers was shooting.
Yeah. I mean, so Tom Cousins, a white guy, Tom Cousins came to East Lake, invested his money, turned East Lake Meadows around, put the golf course out there, and made Miss Eva Davis the elder over the community. And I hope you don't live out there and think you're going to do nothing and she don't know about it. She's still alive to this day. And she'll tell on you just as quick. I know it. She ain't probably ever going to change. Eva Davis. Probably never going to change because she really fought with Tom Cousins and they worked together and ended up making it a better area. So I know if that could be done, anything could be done. Those guys in Chicago, yeah, a lot of that beef is personal because one of their friends may have gotten killed and they just don't want to let it go. But it takes a strong person to really turn the other cheek and say, you know what, I ain't going to retaliate.
Yeah.
Right? But you know what happens with that is the other people look at you as being soft now and weak. And then they still want to kill you because they feel like you can't handle yourself as a man no more. You weak. We killed your brother, you ain't going to do nothing about it. See, so for a lot of black people, even in Chicago, the younger generation, it's like a catch-22. You lose or you lose.
Yeah.
To me, that's the biggest conspiracy ever. Chicago. How they trick them guys, say, okay, it's Chirac. You have to keep putting it on a commercial. And Chicago, over 3,000 people killed, more than people that we lost in Iraq. Why do you have to keep putting that up there like a trophy? Enabling this. Knowing good and well you could do whatever you needed to do to change it, whether it be National Guard or whether it be an army. So
yeah, and it's just
all you could do.
No, and it's just crazy because, like I was saying, that everything that we had, like how you say Chinatown, everything that was damn near predominantly black, they took it away. And to me, like I said, I feel like that's very stupid because you cannot mix low class people that, you know, with middle class people, because it is some people out here that are not used to having shit. So when they see that you got shit, they go and they break into your home and they steal your shit, okay, because you look like you got some money, even if you may be broke, you know.
And that's funny. That's funny because my thing with that is I've always been the one that if I saw that person that had it, or that person that was, you know, I was the one that go up to you and be like, what you doing? Like, trying to learn. I would try to learn what you did to get what you got. I wouldn't try to run up on you with no damn gun. Hey, give me everything you got. Now you robbed a man or you killed a man. What, over 100? He might. Most of his money could be in the bank. You think he got all this money? He walk around with this. You can't get nothing out of his bank. You go and rob or kill him over $100, $200. Now you have a warrant for murder.
But that's how some people are brought up.
You're designed to fail. And yeah, they might be brought up that way. But after I feel you're past the age of understanding and having knowledge itself through your experiences, you know what's right and what's wrong. I believe that.
I believe it too, but I'm just saying that's what's happening. And that's why crime is still going on in those areas. Right. They thought that they was making a smart move, but it was actually a dumb move. Just like with the technology, like, oh, let's put a chip in your car, then half the motherfuckers who got chips, you go to the machine and your damn chip ain't even fucking working.
Chip in your car? Hell, what about the one that got the chip in their arm?
You know, so it's like, it's just like a lost cause. You know, and I've lived in some of the best areas. I've had an experience of living in good areas, and I had experience of living in bad areas. You know, but like-minded people get along. So wherever you go, and with my personality, I'm very versatile, so I can get along with just about anyone, wherever I'm at. But I'm just saying, you know, that was sort of kind of backwards because it's like, hey, let's put the white people, or let's put the, not the white people. I don't want to keep saying that because I don't want to sound racist, but let's put the high end people, because you know some black people are very high class wealthy. Let's put the wealthy over here with the low end people, which is just causing conflicts, because when they were giving out those vouchers or whatever they were giving out, some people had the option to actually stay behind or actually still be able to afford those units when they remodeled them.
Well, yeah, and I think we should even refer to Angela Davis' speech when she was like, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice,
no,
and all the people don't have
and they
power.
give you
so that
justice.
means none of us do. So divide the leadership to the people's revolution, so they could take the country and change it and turn it upside down and put the last first and the first last.
But
look
at
not only
this,
for black people, for all people.
But just look at this though. Like, even like, we're both black, and look at the differences here. Like, black people are different. Very different. We range from very light to very dark, different color eyes, different color texture hair. They can't get past that. You know what I'm saying? Where most of the white people or most of the other races, they sort of kind of similar.
It's just really a shame, because black people, African American people, man, they've always been known as being loving people.
Yeah, we are.
Y'all in impoverished situations and all that, man, that turned a lot of people like that, man. And they knew it because the government got caught, even with the Ronald Reagan, Colonel Oliver North scandal, all of this. They was caught bringing the drugs back into the community.
And what would you do to save your family? Like, if you ain't got no means to feed your family, you already know what people gonna do. You know what I'm saying? When times get tough, what they gonna do?
Yeah, but then you know what they do? They throw the white dude who walked around picking up cans for years, so much that he started his own recycling business. He was homeless.
That's smart.
Right, yeah, so...
That's why people say don't never say never.
Right.
And with every negative, there's a positive.
Right, so
because if he was homeless...
You can make a way instead of borrowing your homie's gun and go rob somebody.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what people should do, but I'm just saying you got some people out here that they like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling the younger generation, whoever gonna watch that, you don't have to revert to a gun to get it. If you know, I've always been the one to make myself be seen around the people that had the money. I wanted to know your secret. I wanted to know how you did. So,
and that's the way to do it instead of being envious, because you never know what a person will put you on to.
Right.
You never know what they can tell you that that will help you.
Right.
You know, so that's just the way to look at it. Like, you never know what people will say. Yeah. You know, in a situation where you need some help or whatever, you want to know what they got, how they got it, or whatever like that. So, you never know.
Well,
yeah, because this video is long.
Well, I mean, if anything resonated or anything made sense to you and out of this, the video that we put out there, allowing you to, take a glimpse off into our life for a minute as we ate our dinner, and
as we did our mukbang,
and just allow you to hear how we felt about certain things.
Yeah, and we are not racist, because I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, you guys are racist."
Yeah, I trust me. I've had friends even in New York. That's how a lot of us grew up. We all went to like the same school and played together. It was never none of that. They used to in New York. I remember in Long Island, they had the occasional racial fights with the Italians against the blacks. They did. I'm not gonna lie. They was jumping them, riding around looking for black people to whoop ass. So much so that they found my cousin Sean one night and they whooped his ass. 3 of them. One of them laying over there by the railroad tracks that next day, and I'm on my bike, and the next day I looked down the street and looked like a zombie was walking down the street the way he was walking. And as he got closer, it was my cousin Sean. And they had jumped him and they had beat him so bad. First day I'm like, go on get my aunt. She got him, brought him to the hospital. But they had hit him with a car and everything. And it still took 3 of them, a car and everything, and still walked home. And, so we ain't always had it easy, but we would rather love than the hate, man. It takes too much energy to hate.
Yep, and to be against.
And that's gonna wrap it up for me. So my wife, if she has anything else to
No, I don't have anything else to say. We're gonna keep the content rolling and flowing. Right. We'll try to get some more mukbangs out, some more eating stuff. But we did eat some burritos and nachos, and we'll figure out what we'll do next.
I know, right?
We might do that challenge, like I said.
Leave suggestions too.
Order what the person in front of you orders. I'm real picky, so that might make me like sick. But
well, peace and blessings from me to y'all.
Peace.
And we love you. Click like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell to get our new upcoming
notifications.